Anything you guys would like to add?
I have a couple of questions actually. Shruti,
Team edition.
No proper research of particular areas or localities. India, a developing country like India, has a lot of population, and so it is not as easy to research about every area or locality, as India has quite a lot of geographical area and all types of terrain are present in the country. The second point is the connectivity to that area by transport. So, as I just said, connectivity, India has all types of terrain, and and people, many people don't have the money to get their own cars or buses or trucks to go to a particular area, and nor are there much roads, not is there much road network to certain areas. So that makes the connectivity quite difficult. And in many areas, there are mountains and a steep terrain, which makes it difficult to make any train or road. The third reason is availability of required amount of energy in the area. So, India, so in a country like India, not all parts of the country have basic essentials like electricity or firewood. So,
we can avoid that by storing the pressure applied by the tires, converting it to electricity, and then using it in the future. So this can be one of the ways. Secondly, we can use solar panels on the roof of the cars. It is more very helpful in the at times when the sunlight is available. Just like the concept of solar panels for electricity generation. We can use those in the roof of the cars. So we can similar to piezo disc, we can store them in a storage unit, and we can use them further in the future for charging the batteries, and thus providing an alternative for not using the uh, new energy source. We can just use the energy from the vehicle itself for charging the batteries. Now Ria will take over.
Yeah. So the third method is to gradually convert from petrol pumps to EV charging infrastructures. So our main aim here would be to decrease the number of petrol cars that are being in use and replace them with electronic vehicles. So for this, we will also need a number of charging stations to be set up. So using this method, we can save time.
It's a concern for many people that the electric vehicles are very costly. So why should we buy it? So we can use materials which are not like recent. Currently, it is made up of lithium, copper, platinum, aluminum, and to some extent, graphite is used in the making of electrical vehicles. So we can see if there is any alternative to that. So the one thing can be achieved in if we get to the better alternative. The low maintenance cost is a considerable benefit because it if the cost of initial buying cost of the electric vehicle is low at the starting, so the people will tend to go towards electric vehicles. And furthermore, so everyone knows it that electrical vehicles don't cost us when we go ahead for the maintenance. It is at many places the maintenance cost is reduced as compared to the petrol vehicles.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we're a little limited on time.
So instead, we can make use of natural resources. For example, like we talked about solar panels. This will also help us find alternative ways to create energy and also help the environment, since the emission reduced will be much lesser, practically negligible. Now moving on, we have displayed a basic prototype in the form of a website. So we've created a website where we have outlined all of the methods that we can employ in making electric vehicles more efficient. On
It
the
is
next
more
slide,
of like
there's the code.
the sort of website which we see that ways to do this, and it's a website like that. So this is the code for it. I'll just show the yeah. So this is what we have made in here. Like we aim to include we didn't have any idea about electrical vehicles and all that, honestly, but we aim to do that through this website. We can generate awareness
and a charge and a solar
Ishan,
power.
sorry to interrupt you, but could you please wrap your presentation up?
Is used to navigate the particular EV present in a particular geographical area, where if a EV is standing in a particular area and there is a EV station, so how much distance is there from the particular EV is known through an app which we will be making to know the uh, uh, exact distance from the particular EV. And next is the GPS. When the EV is off, then the EV is off, it stores and return the energy to the grid. This basically helps in us to balance and demand the grid can help to reduce the cost of EV, which is our main motive to reduce the cost and the time.
Yeah. So these are the main issues that we will overcome with our model, so which we came through with. So the time consuming issues. So suppose we go to a charging station, there are many cars there, so we have to wait and our time gets wasted, and the high cost of the EVs, complex charging infrastructures, and as well as so these all things we will overcome with our model. So what are the features of our project? So it is simple and systematic. We looked towards it should be low maintenance, and it should be easy to access through apps by using IoT, and it should optimize the use of space. So our ideas and approaches, we use two approaches here. The first approach was smart charge, and the second approach was smart vehicle parking infrastructures using IoT. So the flow of our system is, suppose the users gets activated. So we will, through our application, we will determine the route. If it is the usual route or it is the longer route. If it will be the usual route, then we will check the availability of the parking space. We will be using the parking space of the colleges and the premises of the colleges or office, suppose. So that region. So if we will check the availability, if there will be the availability, then we will charge and the process ends. If there will be no then we will check the emergency charge or relocate the nearest charging station, and the process ends. And suppose it is not the usual route, you are not going to your college or office, it's some different route. So we'll locate the nearest availability of EV station.
It's the EV station, and there's a maximum capacity of charging five vehicles at a time. So the first IR sensor we have placed that will be taking the number of incoming cars or maybe EVs present there, and the another IR sensor is used to know the number of the EV vehicles that are being charged and move or passed. So if first vehicles comes here, if the present vehicle are less than or equal to 5, uh, will be said that you are free to charge here, or else you move towards the next EV station. Thus, this process will be further carried out according to the condition will be given. And once the particular EV is charged, then the outside IR sensor that is placed at the exit of the vehicle passes, then we will be decrementing the number of vehicle passed with the number of vehicle present. Thus, the number of vehicle passed, there will be empty spaces for the new EVs to be charged there.
Yeah.
Now let's look over our second approach that we have introduced, smart vehicle parking infrastructure using IoT. So this is basically a parking lot that can be anywhere, such as railway station or maybe college or offices, etc. And there's a EV station, like particular there is a charging point for all the common terminals we are given to all the like section in the slots in the parking. So vehicle will be acting through app that will be making the, and we will be naming as EVOD. So in application, it will give a request to the EV station whether there is a parking space or there is availability of the parking space or not. Then EV station will be giving a feedback to the application if it is already occupied. But in case if some user have an emergency, like any kind of emergency is there, and he have to or she has to park the vehicle at that moment.
One was the issue of affordability, and the other was the lack of charging points for electric vehicles in our country or in general. So we chose to choose the topic which we found more concrete in terms of data, and we chose to deal with the issue of creating more stations for charging. So let's all begin with the concept of EV. As a country, let's say, as we speak as a country, we are all looking to developing, and electric vehicles are one of the key ways to go forward with using renewable resources and conserving resources, and at the same time optimizing what we already have. So let's begin with a few advantages of EV. So there's obviously reduction of carbon dioxide, and it's a sustainable source. It's cheaper to buy. Like I can say that the investment, it's a long-term investment. So the maintenance for an electric vehicle would, in the long run, is much less than that for a normal automobile. And there are many such advantages out of which we've listed a few here. So our issue right now is the
solving here is suppose we have a car and we have very low battery of that. So we are resolving that issue. Suppose the out of 10, 9 our ports are using the cars. So we reserve one for the emergency car. So that's what we are using it for.
Okay, so this crossed marks are the ones.
Would you have added?
I actually had some good ideas. I didn't just want or not. What I actually wanted was that how much money is he approximately going to earn. I tried doing that, but it wasn't possible for me to do it.
May I add some more question? May you show quickly the database C3 columns in a Jupyter notebook, just to take a look of features that you used to train? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, there's a database, right?
Yep, thank you very much.
All right. No more doubts?
No, just only thank you for your project.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, judges. We'll be
Thank you so
leaving.
much,
Thank you,
Gautam.
sir.
That was a wonderful application. Next up, we have, just for the judges, once again, this was team number 21, Capture, consisting of Tatsam, Janil, and Arpan. Next up, we have team JVK, consisting of Ayush, Rohan, and Aniket. Ayush, Rohan, and Aniket, if you are here with us, please switch on your cameras and start your screen sharing.
Or maybe some additional features that we're gonna be used. So the particular IoT will sense your device, or maybe initially the app would ask you to give the basic details or the model number or the
maybe we'd make a tiny code. So
in the given amount of time and knowledge we had, we thought we could just use a database which we made by using Google. So in future, if we get more knowledge and time, we could use APIs which are available in Google and make our system more vast, which will be helpful in a larger scale.
our whole motive for this code was using the data that we have sufficiently to properly convey our solution to making EVs more accessible. Thank you so much for your time. Would you like to ask us any questions?
Prashant, sir, do you have any questions?
Yeah. First of all, may I know your names? Sania and Prathamesh. Prathamesh, right?
Prathamesh Shetty, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Prathamesh, yeah. To both of you, congratulations. You done a good job. There
The thing that you will be having to think upon. Both are the major factors that will block you in building the system.
Yeah, sir, we will surely look upon that.
Yeah. You can continue.
I'm really sorry to interrupt, but I would like to request team.
Through that, we could calculate the frequency of charging stations which is required in the route.
Okay, I understand your point. So you're gonna program a code, a function that will help a user to find a convenient charging station using Google Maps and Google APIs to Google database, right? Yes. What you're trying to say. Yeah, that's a good concept. I believe this is something we've been using, like all of us, we daily use. Even finding when you're traveling in your car, you find petrol. You can find petrol pumps, right? On your Google Map. So in the same way, that can be done possibly. And yeah, one thing I really liked is that you said based on the frequency of the car that are coming to a one junction or one point, suppose a marketplace or some place, there are hundred of cars coming every hour on an everyday basis. You can segregate the electrician to some distances so that there will be no conjunction at a point. That is very thoughtful. I really liked it. But to be honest, when come to charging station, there is a high risk of charging too many vehicles at at a closer room, or I would say closer environment. So that's very thoughtful from you.
It is doing check suitability for the new station. That's what it is. If there are more than 2 slots available, minimum 2 slots available at the next station, then we get assigned that new charging station. And this is the charge car, which is suppose we have booked our slot at the charging station, then we can charge our car. And if not, then there will be another message popping up that it is not charged. So this was our whole project. The smart parking and charging of electric vehicles is a crucial aspect of building a sustainable and efficient transportation system.
So it would not be feasible for any user to have an extra battery on his vehicle. It will be an extra weight to the vehicle. So it will discharge. The more the weight in the car, the more petrol or the more the fuel it will consume. So what you can do, think of like that. You can build a network of your, suppose you're a company and you're providing these charging services. You have the station, and plus you also provide your customer with the service that if they find their vehicles battery low at some point of time, they can connect to the team, and whichever their the service center are close to them will bring a charge battery to the vehicle. That is one of the way it could be done. But yeah, maybe you can be right. I mean, as per my thinking, I believe the charging the batteries are very heavy. If in future we could have lightweight batteries, and then it will be possible to carry an extra battery with as well. But good thought, Sania.
Yeah, thank you.
Valeri, sir, your views on the presentation.
Okay, it was a good presentation. There's good ideas. One of the question: what if you travel from point A to point B, and will you think about some suggestions to users to?
Okay, so do we have all three, Karthik, Veer, and Dia, with us over here in the meeting?
Whenever we need, like Ola, Uber, but they don't have the alternative to go via EV vehicles, right? But in our website, which show the transportation facilities, which show people that whether the public transport is available without compromising with their budget, with their time, and with their luxury wasted. So that's why we want to boost the adoption of electric vehicles and public transport at the same time to reduce this environment stress, because we know that there's no space for private vehicles now on the road. And this is the usage of vehicles in India, which has been increasing drastically since 2010. That is what our website wants to do. It wants to boost the usage of EV vehicles. It will show people whether an EV vehicle is ready to is available for rental basis, which EV vehicle is available, or if an EV vehicle is not available, which public transport is available from which destination, from which location to destination. Further, my friend Ankit will carry on.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Ankit, we'd like to request you to turn on your camera if that's possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can begin.
So yeah, we have created a website in which the current location of the user is inputted via code. We have used the API called IP API geolocation from JSON with a private car, a taxi, or a bike.
Yeah, and considering the future source, our website would be a great boom, because the market is increasing for EV vehicles, right? Within few years, EV buses, EV transports would be on the road every now and then. So considering all those factors, it would be a great help to people rather than going for Ola, which takes private vehicle and releases tons of carbon dioxide. We could use actually this app which we have made, Green Ride. Now I'd like to share the app with you all. How much time do we have left in our hands, Shreya?
Keeping in mind the time limit, we have a total of 10 minutes, and you may have more 5 to 6 minutes to wrap
Just
up
a
the
second.
presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Am I audible?
You are, yeah.
Can I share the screen to show our website?
Yep. Ansh, we can't see your screen.
Easier commutes, like being able to go from here to Pune in just one stop, just like that.
We also have a demo prepared for this application. Just give me 1 second. So yes. Oh, you can see the screen straight, right?
Yeah. So essentially, this is our homepage. When you would come here, tap to charge, whatever our homepage you land on, you click on this, you're able to scan a QR code, the whole system, in order for you to get to your battery, your current, or whatever you want to replace. You can also like rent batteries if you want to, alag se, and look out for stations. Like we offer different battery types that suits your system. And if like you're on the go and you want to look out for more stations near you, you can also go to the stations panel and try to find whatever battery swap station is near you, so that you can continue your journey.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm. If you have any questions, you can ask.
These are about us, and this is our services, and this would be contact us tab.
Yeah, hi Akash. Just a quick question here.
Yep.
You are taking the current location, the destination, and date and time, right?
Yeah.
When I click on search with the company, right, you will be providing these EVs, private vehicles.
So what our idea was, see, Ritvik, what our idea was, we were going to be we have created our company as such that we will provide those EVs as the transport vehicles directly.
No,
So
that is
we are
correct.
going.
I'm asking about the automobile company or the existing companies who would be routing to your website to enable their feature, right? Let's say Uber launches 100 EVs in your city. So you would partnering with Uber to show that 100 vehicles that are available?
Yep, we would be, right?
Okay, so this is your case. And in case of public transports, what all or the transport types? So basically, let's say
Buses, for example. Now, bus is also not that great of a solution because it's as same as a car, but it accommodates a lot of people at the same time, right?
no, public
Metros are
transport is the
That's called that's the
public transport is
reason
the
we have.
best option.
Yeah,
So it is a cost
metro
effective.
is
So
much
yeah.
better than that. Railway trains are there, and we would be showing most comfortable options where people and passengers don't have to compromise with their budget or time, right? And comfort.
So see, we have three different options. Bikes, like we had decided that we would have three different options. One was bike, the second was cars, and the third was public transport like buses, either versus metro or the railway.
Okay, so basically here you are creating a website as an aggregator to aggregate all the information of transportation
Exactly.
that a user can have.
Yes.
Yes. So for that also you would require to get in touch with all transportations possible, right? All the buses which are available at that time.
So we'd have to make partnerships with other companies or
Correct.
dealers. That's
The
what.
government vehicles, government buses, or the government local trains. So you would also need to integrate with them for the data if they will be sharing with you or not, right?
Yeah.
For that current transfers. Okay.
Any other questions, sir?
No.
Team.
Yeah.
So
The first.
okay, so when you are populating the matrix, is that random? How are you populating? Are you taking an input from some other file, or it's just an
No.
example that you've taken?
For example, we will cover an area with no charging ports. So we will populate the matrix with zeros, which indicates no charging ports are available at that area. So that's how we will populate the zeros. And after that, to install the charging ports, we will call the stations function. And in the station functions, it will check the overlapping of the charging ports. So if the charging ports is like very far or near, it will check vertically or horizontally and diagonally in the matrix that how much far is the next charging port. So according to that, the matrix will assign the value 1 and we get the answer.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You could begin with your presentation till that time.
There's not enough space for storage to in the CPU.
So essentially, as I said, we'll be storing racks, right? Racks of batteries and their charging stations and components. Obviously our design would be focused on being able to store them, behind a bus station, for example. So like it shouldn't one station shouldn't accommodate for more than 23 units of batteries, and that I'm talking about when we have different types of batteries. So I wouldn't think that it would take like 600 square foot of space. It's essentially vertically placed battery system which can be done in small space as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
The judges have finished with their queries and filled out their remarks. We can move on to the next team. I personally think your solution was very carefully thought out. I loved it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi Danish. What's the team's name? I didn't catch the name of the team.
This team's name was Muten Roshan. Mutenroshy.
Sorry, can you spell it again?
Muten.
Is my screen visible? I'll share the screen with energy. And it is efficient because it provides a better solution for the environment than the normal vehicles like those that work on petroleum, CNG, etc., etc. So let us see the current scenario. As we know that in many developing countries, the high cost and limited availability of traditional transportation is making it difficult for the businesses to access these services of EVs. We also know that electrical vehicles are highly expensive, so it cannot be afforded by a wider audience. And it is also limited by factors as lack of charging stations, lack of charging stations, lack of awareness, etc. So now we are here to present you a 4-step solution that tackles the issue of high expense of electric vehicles. So the first step for the solution is government incentive, encouraging the local manufacturers. So as we all know, we cannot make electric vehicles feasible on day-to-day basis unless the government steps in. So what the government can do is it can provide subsidies on raw materials so that the manufacturing cost of vehicle can reduce. The second step is the government incentive. As we all know, for the electric vehicles to be a day-to-day topic in our lives, the government needs to create more awareness. The government can create awareness to the buyer by introducing vehicles like electric bikes, electric autos, electric cars, and encourage the general public by telling them the benefits of electric vehicles as compared to the traditional vehicles. The third, one of the major problems is charging stations. So the government has started this electric vehicle mission. So what they aim to do is by 2030, they want that only electric vehicles should be sold in India. So for that to happen,
proper legislation guidelines should be addressed in the future by the government to operate this recycling of the batteries and to maintain a proper further on, this will also pave a way for the several players to benefit from the expected growth in the sector. As it will grow, several opportunities will be created for the companies that provide electricity to the households, and we need to take a proper battery recycling should be done. Further on, Rohal will explain.
So myself Rohan, and I will explain another solution which is battery exchange. So it is similar to how we go about working with cylinders in our life. As we exchange our empty cylinders with filled and exchange it with filled ones, similarly we can provide charge batteries in petrol pumps. The customers can then reach the power stations and replace that drain.
Go to the next slide. So we have 3 vehicles. One is electrical bikes, electric cars, and electric auto rickshaw. And we can use these.
Here is a quote. The time is right for electric cars. In fact, the time is critical. The time is critical because we know the fossil fuels are getting depleted, and this is the best time we can switch to EVs. This is our team, JVK, Rohan
Recording
Magdu,
in progress.
Aniket Mishra, and Ayush Rajbar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team JVK. Moving on, we have, before that, judges, do you have any questions for team JVK?
That you could share with us, or?
Yes, we have built a website actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that is it for team JVK. This was team number 20, judges. Moving on, we have team number 30, Rookie Byte, consisting of Anu, Chinmay, and Devi.
Can I show you the website?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, if you have 2 minutes, you can just share pretty quickly.
Okay.
for the phase charge, we have created a system in which we have minimized the phase that can be charged as per kilometer basis. We've given the user choices like driving their own car, sharing, and hiring a driver. So I'll show you the working. And this works on QR scan. So this is a demo model. We'll show you the working. One second.
So this is the home page. We are just addressing the issue here. So this is a charging page. Aniket will explain.
Team JVK, you guys have already finished your time limit, so if you could just wrap this up a little quickly.
Okay. So I want to show the main highlight of this website. We created a map. Here we will get to know the power stations near us, which will charge electric vehicles. So the users can. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team JVK. Moving on, we have team number 30, Rookie Byte, consisting of Anis, Chinmay, and Devi. I believe Devi is here with us. So Devi, if you could switch on your camera and please share your screen.
Just a second. Okay. See, there is not a chair there. She said. Is this visible? Rafa, is this visible?
Yes, Devi, we can see your screen.
Wait.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, we
Hello,
can hear you.
am I audible?
Yeah.
Actually, the main impact to create on the people is not about just by creating the stations. The main impact we can create is by due to the performance of the vehicles. How can we make it more affordable and the more accessible to the peoples? So on the basis of that, we had designed a rough design of the car that works on the mechanism of wind turbo shaft. What the mechanism is like, the screen is visible now.
Yes, we can see your screen and we can hear you. Don't worry.
And it's like when a car is moving with a average velocity, what happens like there is a create of the air drag and the velocity which creates up the vacuum. So what are we going to do is like we are setting up the channel in the chambers like the grill of the grill in front of the car, from where the passage will take the air to the shaft, and it will hit on the point of the shaft, which will create a rotatory motion, and the rotatory motion creates an DC amplifying current that accessibly charge our batteries.
So we plan to incorporate one more battery in every car, which will get charged due to this wind pressure. So we are streamlining the flow of flow of air directly to the turbines, which will then rotate, producing DC current, which is stored in the second battery.
Charging stations in the future. Because this project is being looked कि future में ऐसा होगा, not अभी के, in the near future. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So main dependability is on the government. If the government
Yeah, of course, it
takes this
depends
up,
on it.
then you can do it.
Okay,
got it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, team 404 Not Found, for such an insightful presentation. Now we'd like to move on to Team Powerpuff Girls to present their work on the following problem statement.
After sales services, limited access to information and all. And the solutions can be public-private partnership, foreign direct investment, government procurement. Like government can technical assistance, international cooperation, import tariff reduction, and all.
The next is limited access to the electricity. So like limited charging option will be there, and then longer charging time it will take, and which reduces the range indirectly. Next is the increased cost of ownership, and the ownership cost will also go high, and then it will have a limited battery life. Here are the possible solutions for it. Like one solution is we can have a solar charge station, and another is we can have lithium ion batteries so that we can store excess energy. The next is limited awareness, continued by Pranav.
Limited awareness, there are few reasons, like lack of education. Many people are not educated about electrical vehicles. Limited understanding of incentives, limited understanding of charging infrastructure and all, and limited trust in new technology. Like most people doesn't trust new technology, upcoming technology and all. And limited access to information. Like there are no access, there is a less access in information about EV models. And
Create a program wherein a user can input their current address, and in turn, our program will return the nearest electric vehicle charging station locations on the map. So how does our idea help everyone? So while designing our solution, we placed our main focus on India from a broader pool of developing nations.
and transportation equity, reduce the social cost of transportation. Like if you have like investing in an electric vehicle is a one time investment. Like later the cost of transportation is reduced. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for the present.
Valeri sir, questions or?
Okay, so you mentioned that you're going to you need to government investments, yes, and how you are going to be attracted to government to start invest.
Like a government should understand, like firstly, I guess they should prioritize the EV vehicles. They should understand the benefits of having an EV vehicle. Firstly, the environment will be safe from this. Secondly, we have also discussed like it will help in increase the economy of the country. So like government should look upon that factors and promote some policies so that people will be encouraged to use EV vehicles.
And also government should be have a collaboration with the companies and implant more charging infrastructure, charging stations. Let's say as a developing country, it may be a high toll, but it I guess there should be there should be minimum one charging.
Enter your current address. Over here, we have entered Lucknow. As a result, our program will return to you all the charging stations which are within a 10-kilometer radius of your current address. And furthermore, it will also, demonstrate your current address on the map, as well as all the addresses of the charging stations shown in the earlier table. The blue icon shows our current location, and the green icons, if
no, but not a single entity can bring change to the country like us, India. So government should be involved, but government will only involve in in such kind of activities if it find this sufficient enough for, or that would really necessity for the replacement of the conventional vehicles. Yeah, it's not easy for a country like us with a billion of population shift from conventional uh, vehicles to an EV vehicles. So I was really hoping that you could end of the session, not the end of the presentation, come up with an exact business plan how that can be implemented instead. But nevertheless, it was good you come up with real issues that are currently been faced by the, or with the developing countries like us, and the market which are facing the issue. Good work, Chetan and Pranav.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, we were inexperienced, and this is the first time we have approached an hackathon. And unfortunately, one of our member was hospitalized, so we were in that
Okay.
this thing, we were like in that issue, so we didn't put more time to this hackathon. But we'll try to do our best.
address I want. And this is, I feel, significantly more useful because if you're stranded on the road somewhere and you want to put your exact address, not just the city center or something. Okay. So I've taken the address of the Taj Mahal. I enter it. And
Tech Titans is your whole team here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get 10 minutes to present your solution to the judges. Please go ahead.
Yes, sure. Okay. So, good afternoon, judges. We are Tech Titans, and today we are presenting you on EV A to Z, a one-stop destination for your EV needs. Next. So, let's understand the current deadlock, and we won't be wasting much.
okay, so here we have our output. Sorry, there are no EV charging stations within a 10-kilometer radius. However, the program will provide us with the closest charging station beyond 10 kilometers. So as we can see, it's a station called Circle Test Station, which is 13 kilometers from Goa. And I'll show this to you all on the map as well. I'll download this. And so map 15.
So, yeah, as we can see here, the EV sales of four-wheelers is only densely situated where the electric stations are quite more. Like it's only there in tier one cities like Lucknow, Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore. All other EV sales are only two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and buses which are only bought by the corporations for their municipal transportation, right? So as we can see here, if we take an example of a state like Maharashtra, most of the EV sales are only situated in Mumbai, Pune, and some and other tier two cities like Kolhapur, Nagpur, or Aurangabad, Nashik. So we can see here, we can also see that 74% of EV sales in the state are in Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad, and those are also mostly two-wheelers. Four-wheelers are also quite less, and when we go to tier two or tier three cities, the four-wheeler EV sales are quite negligible. So what is the solution for this? We'll also explain this in this PPT. Yeah, Dhruv, you can take over.
Home is not difficult. However, the problem comes when
remove the drain battery and swap out with the new battery. This is now, as I said, only for bikes, but if for vehicles, if we can create at the rear end of the vehicle, if we can create a clip-on type where if we just place the car and the new battery new battery can be installed for like a magnetic clip-on, then it will save then it can be easier as the batteries weigh a lot. So battery swapping by this technique can be easier. Regenerative braking is, as we all know it, the car loses a lot of energy while braking. this system is implemented in few higher model cars, but if we can implement it in bikes and vehicles, then other cars, then it can be easy for businesses and other individuals to save battery and again increase the range and time. And again, like regenerative braking is regenerative suspension, where the linear momentum of vibration of the bumps in the road can get converted into electric energy. This again saves a lot of time and increases the range, but is still a little more on the expensive side as compared to what other businesses require. And integrated solar panels, so India is at a geographical advantage as it receives 300 sunny days. So if we have a integrated solar panel on the top of the car only.
Yeah, and I request you to turn on your camera if that's possible.
Yeah, just please give me a second.
Of course, no problem.
So is it visible?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, so hello to everyone. We are team ABS, and my name is Anaushka, and I'm here with my team members Bhavya and Spandana. We are currently doing first year in CSE.
Chargers in your area. This will work for anyone, not just for the current link. As you can see, I'm situated here and showing me the charging stations near me. Secondly, so let's consider you are a new user who is trying to invest, who is trying to buy an EV. So the first thing he'll do, he'll check the charging availability in his area. If he doesn't find the charging availability, he can apply for a new charging station. So as you can see, we have given 3 options: for a small charging station, which is sufficient for 2 people; a medium-sized charging station, which is sufficient for 4 cars; a large size, which is sufficient to 8 or more cars. So if you are in a rural area and you buy an EV, so you can apply for a new small charging station. So now, as the problem statement says, encourage people in buying EVs. So when you place a charging station when you apply for a new charging station, and when it actually builds up, it will encourage more people in the area to buy EV because it will be a cheaper alternative. Also, government provides subsidies on tax as of now when a person buys a new charging station. There are some talks in which government will give the electricity at a cheaper rate or waive off some charges on that, which are there in the later phase. This is a basic sign up module which the user can sign up and his data will be collected. The main thing to collect this is there is no direct availability of data in EV which shows which areas are populated, highly populated or sparsely.
Than it does to put gas in the truck. I mean EV vehicles. So next. So next major aspect is going light and a vehicle weight. Like example, electric EV vehicles batteries are very heavier than normal vehicles. Yeah, next. So next, the major aspect is battery range. So lithium ion battery is mostly used in EV vehicles. So as it's observed, batteries get weaker over a period of time. Lithium is used more in EV vehicles. Like demand for lithium is very high, but the resources are very less. Next. So next, lithium depletion. Lithium is one of the key component in the EV battery, but global supplies are under strain because of rising EV demand. So as we discussed now, lithium supply faces challenges not only from searching demand, but because resources are concentrated in few places. Okay, thank you. Next, Anushka will continue from now.
I'd like to remind you before you continue that you only have 5 minutes left. So if you could.
Yeah. So it's not much.
Yeah.
So now we have just discussed about the problems. Now coming to the solutions. Are these really solutions or opportunities for us to find further solutions? So So I have researched, gone through the internet and found that sodium ion battery breakthrough. So the research team, which is PNNL, has developed a sodium ion battery, which is greatly extended with longevity. The findings, which were published in the journal Nature Energy, it provided a promising recipe, or you could say structure.
Site or something, and we were currently working on it. We are even after the time after 11:30, so there is some kind of issue. We do have the API, right?
Yes, I will show it.
Previous slide.
Yes, Mahmood.
Which slide?
The location and availability, correct, yeah. So when you say availability of the charging station is checked, what factors are considered over here?
Distance for now, and if the nearest charging station, like if you're going in a route, and if it's in a route, or do you need to take a diversion, and if the diversion gives you like the smallest route available.
Corporate or the private sector to because they won't come to a place
At least have some type of electric charging facility or infrastructure. It can easily boost the electric vehicle ecosystem there. Yeah.
so let me provide you knowledge base. It is very dangerous and it is very versatile to have an electric station along with a gasoline or other
Yes, yes.
this station
So
like
that's
petrol.
why we have a smaller model which can fit in small places and be isolated from the rest of the village, or if any safety concerns, if any there.
Yeah.
So this model is very good for small rural areas, as it won't consume much space. Also, we can add a inverter or something similar to like that, because there are power shortages in those rural areas, which can also be which the inverters can solve in the charging station.
I would also like to add some common workplaces like in Mumbai, you see Kanjurmarg. So there are a lot of offices there. So a charging station near that place would be very efficient for people to go there and just charge there. So in the United States, actually, people have a charging station at work, and some companies even provide charging for free. So for our developing country, if not free, we can just install charging stations near the working places. So while the people work, they can charge their cars.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, one of you share your screens, and I'd like to request all of you to turn your cameras on, if that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see your screen. You can begin. All the best.
Hello everyone, we are team Fubar and I am Adit. And today we will be presenting our solution to the EV problem in developing countries. So the problem statement in
Yep.
Yeah. So we've just taken. We've considered this. We of course can't use the entire map of city as of now. We've considered the entire western line from Churchgate to Virar, and we know the distances and if they have charging station or not. We have also added, like, uh, we can provide you all the station, all the uh, Western Line railway stations that have charging stations. We can give you the nearest four, which this function does. We can, of course, book a spot, which allows you to, like, the previous question was how if the spots fill up. Also have a book. We also have a function to book a spot. and by extension, which comes with it, we also have we can the vehicle, get the number of vehicles already in the station, or and the waiting time which that vehicle should cost. That's it.
Type of the website, and in a real website it would look like this, and the user can interact with the car, zoom in and move the model around, and he could see if he likes the car or not. And the next thing is the cost calculator.
I don't have a question because I was disconnected and skipped most part of presentation.
That is unfortunate. Very well. Thank you, Tech Titans. If Prashant sir is satisfied and has filled out his Excel sheet, you can move on to the next team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we leave the meeting?
Sorry?
Can we leave the meeting?
Yeah, sure. Hacking New Year is your whole team here. Hello.
No, we don't have Yash yet. 2 members are here and 1 is not here.
Could you please ask them to join quickly?
Yeah.
Capacity and the type into consideration, we have used a platform Carvale, and we have scraped their website and created an API which compiles all the data and shows the user the final output.
So here is the demo of this feature. When you click on the Find an EV button, you will be led to this form. So here, first of all, we have a drop down in which we can select what is the budget of our car. For example, right now, we'll take an example as 18 to 25 lakh.
No, is the whole team here now?
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got 10 minutes to present your solution to the jury. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yash, can you put up the PPT?
Hello? Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
About affordability price ranges. So because of this, we have to look into like how to overcome these challenges to make them more affordable for our sector, that is India. So basically the main objective of this presentation is to showcase like how we are addressing these challenges and to enable a cost effective and time efficient use of electric vehicles in developing countries such as us, such as India ourselves. Then moving on. So basically the transportation sector in India, it is facing a very significant challenge. Basically, we all know how there is too much traffic congestion, poor infrastructure, like roads are broken, there are potholes, and like there are high emission. So basically our country has the largest population right now and a rapidly growing economy, which has led to a significant increase in the number of vehicles on the road. And as a result, there is too much traffic congestion and pollution. So, and also the transportation sector is very heavily dependent on fossil fuels, which also contributes to higher emission of greenhouse gases. So in this context, there's a growing need for sustainable alternative that can address these challenges and provide a more cost-effective and reliable means of transportation. So here is where electric vehicles come into the picture and why we should like use more of them. And furthermore, in rural areas and small towns, the transportation infrastructure is very poor.
ZSEV, okay. So would that be a feature where if I plan to buy this, and currently I'm having a petrol car, right? Let's say I'm using a petrol car. Would that be comparable here? So
Yeah,
let's
if
say
we had more data available, we could have done that. But we tried to find APIs which provided the data for all the cars. We could not find it. That's why we made a basic system. But if we had access to all the resources of the cars, then we could have done that.
yeah. Now this prototype seems to be right. It is correct. But I would suggest that if you work on this, no.
Like it has 50.3 kilowatt hours and it claims to have 461 kilometers in a single charge, and it ranges around 21 lakh rupees. And the second one on the bottom right, it is a Hyundai Kona, and this one it is priced more. It is priced as 24 lakhs approx, and it provides lesser charge, which is lesser power, which is 39.3 kilowatt hour, and it also goes a little bit lower, which is 452 kilometers per hour, 452 kilometers in a single charge. So basically, like these were the two that I could find for the top best ones that are right now going in the market. And then moving on. So basically, to what my solution was for given the problem statement that we have to implement solar powered charging station, and we have to like build the infrastructure for them, and we have to obviously use government aided policies and stuff to implement them. So here I will just talk about what basically a solar powered charging station is. So solar powered charging station can be cost effective solution as they use renewables energy source, which is the sun, and this approach can help us reduce the overall cost of ownership of electric vehicles. And then furthermore, in urban areas, solar power charging station can be located in public parking areas, shopping centers, and other places where electric vehicles are much more likely to be present and parked for a longer time. And then an example here I've given Atom charge. So there's this
efficient where he would have to stop at one point and he could refill his fuel and move on to the stop or the destination. And then we had another alternative to that where the other person would get the opportunity to rest at by charging at two different points such that he would reach the So here a person is initially at point A. When we are in this prototype, we have given him the options to go to point B, C, or D in accordance to what destination he wants to reach. And in this way of going, he will encounter 3 petrol pumps in point B. And going to point C, he'll again encounter 3 petrol pumps. And the point D, he'll again encounter 3 charging pumps. So in this process, he will get the opportunity. Yathat will run the code now.
Sorry guys, I'm unable to run the a code. It was supposed by Nitya to run the code.
So
Sorry,
now,
Rohan.
Yatharth will go on to explain the loopholes and advantages.
Yes. So the advantages of the system is ease of finding charging stations, as you can find the charging station near you according to your requirements. And the next advantages is ease of planning, as you can prior and plan the charging station near you. So we have some way to future that we can add, like some problems or loopholes we were facing, like it can't tell the time required to reach this station because of the traffic density in the park,
and that way we can efficiently utilize it. So the basic benefits I've listed below, like how improve reliability, improve efficiency, enhance security, reduce emissions, and basically like smart grid integration can help to improve the reliability, efficiency, and security of electric vehicles and infrastructure in India. So now basically in order to like promote the growth of smart grid integration and how like electric vehicles could be used to solve the potential of transportation problem, so we could also like develop an mobile application which should basically have these functionalities, like locate nearby charging station, check for availability of charging ports at those station, then start and stop charging, and then payment integration and charging history, like at each location how much have you charged or not. So basically, as like they're very self-explanatory, like locate charging station, the application would allow users to locate the nearest charging stations and then check for availability of charging port. Like say, suppose if you found a charging station that is near you, like, but does it even have any space available there or not? So basically it is done for that. Then start and stop charging. So basically you could use a mobile app after plugging in to like control the charging status, and then payment integration, because of yes, ma'am. If you have any questions or anything, please go ahead.
I have any questions? Just wanted to know, the mobile app that you're talking about, is that built or that was just, like we
So,
can build?
ma'am, like, of course, it is in the developing stage. Like, I can just show you the basic front end web page only that I was trying to
Oh.
design, but like
Yep.
I had faced some problems, so I didn't like use it. But basically, ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yep.
Like, I just changed it right now. So
Yeah, I can see.
basically, like I did not submit this code because like I wanted to actually like integrate the Google Map API, but that required some billing account and stuff. So that's why like even here I've opened the Google API console anyway. So like I did not like I wasn't able to do that because like I did not have the account. So basically the idea was karke ki, like this would be the basic layout. Like there would be a Google map over here, and then you could like enter your current location and enter the distance, like in how much nearby distance do you want to find the charging station near you, and then you would search, and then accordingly it would do it.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much, Aditya. This was team 103. We're going to have one more participant come and speak on our panel. So if we could just.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Team Buckslayers, for your incredible take on the problem statement. Next upon, I'd like
Thank
to
you.
call. Yeah.
Thank you.
You can leave the meeting now. Yeah. Next upon, I would like to call the team Hacker Ninjas to present their unique approach on the problem statement. Are they here?
So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So the topic of our presentation is sustainable electronic vehicles. Uh, so first, I would like to start by saying that we have taken a slightly different approach towards the concept of electronic vehicles. What we have done is that we have first identified the challenges to the sustainability and the cost effectiveness that are existing in the current models of electronic vehicles, and we have suggested some solutions to those. So first, we will take a look at the challenges. The first thing is that the battery of EVs, the lithium-ion battery that is used, is a very expensive and unrecyclable battery. Also, the batteries aren't long-lasting. So basically, you have to replace the batteries in like approx 5 to 6 years of time. Then another thing is another thing that we are focused on is that sometimes while driving people experience a phenomenon called low battery anxiety, which means that we kind of have an anxiety that our battery.
About the common solution like enhancing the batteries or changing the battery or locating the station nearby. I'm just coming up with a different solution. But before going to the solution, I'm going to show some predictions about the EVs. So there are prediction one, the electric vehicle will continue to gain market share in the global automotive industry with sales projected to reach over 30 million by 2030. Prediction two, electric vehicles are expected to replace gasoline powered vehicles as the dominant form.
A bit of the projects that were presented. We are also appreciative to the entire jury who provided sound advice to all the participants, and I'm convinced that everyone present gained something useful. This finishes the qualifying round for Cyber Cypher 2.0. The results will be posted on our Instagram feed soon, so stay tuned. See you soon for the final round of Cyber Cypher. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much, judges. It was a huge honor and pleasure to have you guys here with us. Participants, you guys will get the results very soon. So all the best, and we'll see you all soon.
In particular society, but not in particular area.